A new driver. A new driver from a new-ish company. Not a new company. They already existed, making shafts and other things. But kind of a new driver, a major competitor driver entering the market. It's very exciting. Are you excited?
Very.
I'm very excited. Not a whole lot of reviews of it that I've seen. Not a whole lot of ball flight numbers posted, so we're going to do that. We're going to post them for you, for your pleasure. And I am going to hit some with my Titleist GT2 as a comparison. When you look at it, it looks actually just a lot like a Titleist driver in a good way. It's very simple, very clean looking, very minimal, but it is very different in terms of the face design. What they've done is they've designed a face bulge and roll based on your club head speed. So the faster you swing, the more the face, the bulge and roll should help offset your miss hit. So if Bryson toes a ball, it's pretty bad. If someone who swings 85 miles an hour toes a ball, not that bad. And should those two people be playing the same kind of curvature and shaping of a club face and a driver, I actually don't think it's crazy to say maybe not. So this one has been set up for me. I've lofted it as close to my driver as I possibly can. We are hitting an X-Wave, actually, X-Wave shaft. A special edition black one with a green font in a 6X, just for fun, because why not? This is a mighty expensive club, very expensive. The major points people want to see, obviously, does it keep up on ball speed and distance and such, but I think this will be a lot more kind of a miss-hit story. What occurs off the heel and toe, how much better, potentially, is this driver than call it a traditional face driver when you tend to clank it all over the face, which I often do. It interests me because my current nasty miss with the driver is high in the toe. So if this driver is better at that, they would have themselves a customer. All right, let's go. Nice. So a little bit low off the heel, just slightly. Good result. Yeah, so as an opening drive, I would say pretty good performance. I struck it low in the heel. I would expect to see a little bit more spin. Nothing wrong with that. Let's hit better, I think. Slightly better strike location. It's good. Ball speed's good. That we won't hear too much difference in sound than my Titleist driver. So far, the feel and sound are quite similar, which is a compliment because Titleist makes a nice sounding and feeling driver. That one's nice. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. So struck as well as I can. It's interesting. It's not a super low spin head. Now I've got the 9.5 degree head here. There is a lower lofted one. Bryson has some insane freak show driver that's like 5 degrees or something. So there are drivers with more bulge and roll than the one I have. The left-handed availability obviously is not the same as right-handed. Would I loft this down further to get the spin down a little bit more based on that strike? Yeah, I think I should probably go down maybe a notch or two. Just like a quick average there. Very nice ball speed. The launch and spin are a little bit on the higher side, and I just think that maybe it would be more suitable for me at a slightly lower loft. So I'm going to do that now, and let's continue hitting. Yes. Woo. Now I shut the face a little bit. That's my fault, but really good ball flight. Hot. So that's literally a horrendous strike. I'm actually pleasantly shocked at how good that is. 16 mil in the heel and 10 low is crap. It really is. So keeping that spin under 3,000 and frankly in the fairway is better than I deserve. That's hit well. Oh yes. Dude, this is wild. I'm mildly impressed. More. Let me hit more. It's like off the heel like that. That shouldn't be as good. Didn't kick the spin up that much. Ball speed was almost the same. Directionally, I'm very impressed. I feel like I don't normally have that easy of a time putting the ball in the fairway with the driver. Okay, that's a strike that would normally be a bit stinky. It does very well. High in the toe is my nightmare, and that is very good. Goodness gracious. The highest compliment I can pay it is that I could happily play golf with this. Based on what I've seen so far, there would be Very little hesitation for me to go play golf with it. I'm not seeing anything all that different from my Titleist driver, which usually gives me about as good numbers as anything in the building. Shall we look? La Golf. I mean, interestingly, the launch didn't really change. I put that more on the swing. Maybe I hit up on it a little bit more once I lofted it down just subconsciously. But the spin is much better. So he's shaved about 500 RPMs of spin. This is perfect. I don't really want my average spin rate to be below 2,300. I just find that I have no room to hit a crap one. If I toe one or clank one and my average spin's 2,000, you can imagine that you're falling into the no zone in terms of spin, where the ball just falls to the air, curves offline. And that actually stretched it out 10 yards longer than the higher setting. So it worked well. Someone who's a little bit of a low spin player, like a very low spin player, I think find the standard configuration would give them good numbers. If you're producing a little bit too much spin, lofting it down like that, it worked I mean, honestly, the numbers are very good. Very, very good. Yeah, interesting. Address position versus a GT2. I mean, the glossy versus the matte head will be subjective. Some people prefer one or the other. You know, to my eye, yes, the GT sits a little bit more open. The curvature of the face is obvious. Now that I picked my Titleist back up, the face looks very flat compared to this LA driver that obviously has deliberately quite a bit more of that bulge and roll on the face. Let's hit a few. Let's see if we're on the same. If the numbers were similar, I would be very impressed. Okay, that's nice. So a little heel, tiny bit low. That's pretty similar to what we saw with the LA driver. This to me felt a little bit better. It's got a little bit more spin to it, actually, at the same loft. GT2's ball speed's very good. It might be a slightly higher spin profile than that driver. Hit that one higher in the face and lower spin. Shocking. Numbers are very close, eh? Very close. When you pay very close attention to strike location, which I try to do, that's a horrible strike, horrible. But it also deals with it very well. I think I hit a crap one with that LA driver also way off the heel. They both do a very good job. The ball speed kind of stays almost the same. I think these are gonna be really tight. Averages, shall we? Titleist driver, a tiny bit faster. So 0.7 of a mile. Again, this is not like I'm hitting a million balls with a robot. I'm not saying that for sure this is the case, but just based on my tests right now, they're so close in ball speed, it would be like a rounding error. Whenever two drivers are within a mile an hour or so at my speed, I don't really consider it a difference, but for what it's worth, I'm seeing a slightly higher ball speed with my driver. The launch angle is, again, within 0.5 of a degree. The spin rate, yes, the average spin rate is higher. I didn't hit any really knuckly ones with my Titleist driver, like way off the top of the face, to be fair. So that might be bringing this average up a little bit, but what I'm noticing with almost the same strike, the LA driver at the same loft is a little bit lower spin. So far, from what I can see, it would be something I would really like to have in the building. I'll probably be sending an email right after this video is done so that I can get some heads in here for people to try, because I actually think that it would be very competitive. So the end distance, sure, the LA ends up being a little bit longer just because the spin was a little bit lower, not shocking. If I hit another 20 balls, I think these might get a little bit closer because they are behaving very, very similar, and that is very complimentary for LA because Titleist makes a hell of a driver. In my opinion, a GT2 it's got to be one of the best all-around club. Okay, before I put this thing away for the day, I want to mega toe a few balls. I want to hit a few that are my nightmare because the face design of this, that's really what it's for, is the absolute worst type of mishits, whether it's the heel or the toe, can they stay more online? Can I keep them in play? Where, let's call it a traditional face driver, it may really curve offline. Does this do a better job? Mildly toe, does a very good job. It's funny, it's like a psychological thing. We've done this before. Remember I'm trying to do certain things and I'm trying to mishit the ball and then I end up hitting it better? If there's any psychiatrists in the comments, please let me know your thoughts on that whole thing. Mega toe. That's medium toe. Okay, 10 toe. It's very good. It's actually, if anything, faster ball speed there. Oh, I almost missed the ball. 12, okay. Okay, that's insane. That If I worked at LA, I would frame that. I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit that low in the toe that had normal spin as well. I would usually lose that ball way further right, and you would actually think that that strike would be a little bit spinnier. I think that's the one there. Yeah, toey. Not horribly toey, but it's very good off the toe. Very good. Okay, let me do that a couple times with mine. Same exact strike. Okay, we'll have to compare those two. That's wild. Look at the exact same strike location. To the millimeter, the same strike. As I said, I could hit 4,000 more balls. I would never, ever, ever make that happen again. So the exact same strike location. The ball speed was within 0.1. So purple is Titleist. LA is this kind of bluish color. The ball speed is literally almost exactly the same. The launch angle is within 0.1. That's crazy. That's crazy. Almost the point where you would think that those were the same driver, just cosmetically different. Now, a fair amount less spin out of the LA driver, which is interesting. I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously it went further, so it's kind of hard to argue with that. It went off the same strike location, which is a mishit off the toe. It did, in fact, go 10 yards farther. So hard to argue with that. Hard to say that it didn't perform at least as well, if not a little bit better. Now, it would depend. If you are someone who produces too low spin already, as I said, you probably would have lofted this LA driver up a bit anyway. All I can say is that the results were very good. It shocked me how similar in performance it is to what I believe to be pretty much as good a driver as anyone's ever made. As I said, I think 10 minutes ago in the video, the best compliment I can say about it is that I would 100% consider playing golf with that thing, 100%. It won't be the last time I hit it, but I think as an initial review, I'm impressed.